One of my favorite conversations in the GTA 6 community is when is the game actually going to come out? When are we going to be seeing in the next trailer? Well, Agent has put out his predictions for GTA 6 release in 2025. Let's see what he has to say.
So the biggest key to figuring this out is actually Borderlands 4, believe it or not. Borderlands 4 is
Okay, so Borderlands 4 release, of course, is slated now to come out in September, which has made a lot of us think that GTA 6 will be postponed at least until October.
Releasing on September 23rd this year, and this is a big deal because Borderlands 4 is another title owned by Take-Two Interactive. So one would assume that they're going to want to avoid pitting two of their own releases against each other. And for this reason, September is just off the tables for GTA 6. And if we're looking at this realistically, I think October might be off the tables too.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think October is off the table. I think November is more than likely off the table, given that it would coincide with a Call of Duty release, but I want to hear Agent's take on this.
I mean, a late October release date is definitely still possible, but something about an early November release date just feels more likely to me. Now, earlier in February, Kotaku put out this article where they also attempted to predict the release date for GTA 6, firmly planting their flag on October 28th specifically. And their main contention with it being released in November seems to be that it would clash with Call of Duty, which I find kind of interesting. Sure.
This is my own personal belief as well, is that Call of Duty is the one title that may well compete with GTA on a yearly cycle.
Call of Duty is a big seller at this time of the year, but we're talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. In my opinion, GTA 6 will completely smash and obliterate any game in its way, no matter where it releases. It's not going to be Rockstar that steps out of the way of other games, it's going to be the opposite. Other games will move the release date to accommodate for GTA 6. And then on top of that, Call of Duty games have released in October in years prior. I mean, last year they released the Call of Duty game in October, so it's not out of question that Call of Duty...
Okay, I didn't know that Black Ops 6 was released in October 25. That is unusual because oftentimes we've seen that it releases around mid-November, like November 11 wouldn't surprise me, for example, for Call of Duty.
Releases their game in October, so I don't know why we're putting so much weight on Call of Duty's releases. So great, we have a new estimated release date. We're gonna just
I would say that given that some people will always only buy Call of Duty, and that's actually quite a large casual gamer base who will play Call of Duty, I think GTA 6 will definitely be a title that is in competition with Call of Duty. Now, don't get me wrong, personally, I don't see Call of Duty as worth its salt anymore. However, there are many millions of gamers who do. Many millions of gamers who will make it an annual thing to buy the newest Call of Duty. No matter how much complaints there are about how Activision Blizzard are taking it, some gamers will simply always buy that yearly release like it is a mandatory bill they have to take care of that year. And I do think that would potentially have a bit of a hit on GTA 6 sales. At least for that time. Maybe in December, for example, then GTA 6 is also picked up for Christmas time, who knows?
It's probably going to be November. But now comes the very difficult part of predicting what the marketing timeline is going to look like. And we kind of have an idea of what the marketing timeline might look like because in the earnings call, they kind of said that they're looking to do shorter marketing cycles now. Live service games are kind of the big thing now, and it seems like they're going to wait to do their big marketing push until after the game is out. And
so this is incredibly correct in my opinion as well. I do believe that the marketing for GTA 6 is going to be a much bigger push and many more millions of dollars are going to be put into marketing post-launch than pre-launch, simply because, simply put, the GTA 6 game is going to sell regardless of even if there's a second trailer or not. However, they will need to keep posting content after the launch to keep players invested, and that's where we're going to be seeing, I would guess, at least monthly DLC at some point, and that is what Rockstar will want to put all their advertising into, because people will buy GTA 6 100%, but to buy the DLC afterwards will take a bit of re-engaging fans with post-marketing material.
Probably right when GTA Online comes out. So at this point, I really don't think we're going to be getting a third trailer. I think we're still going to get the gameplay trailers, but beyond that, I think they're going to keep it relatively quiet until the game releases. I think the release of Trailer 1 really proves how much longevity they can get out of just a single video on the internet. And for that reason, doing stuff like giant billboards and painting the sides of buildings like they've done in the past might just not be necessary anymore. Now,
I don't think it would be necessary, but I think it would still be really awesome for Rockstar to partake in mainstream and popular culture outside of the screen. And especially if they do billboards, etc., they're going to get tons of earned media, meaning they're going to have marketers like myself and other content creators on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so on, who will be making loads of videos and getting over all of us millions, if not tens of millions of views talking about it. It will be some of the cheapest marketing they could possibly do.
Look at the final earnings call for their fiscal year 2024. That's the one where they announced that Grand Theft Auto 6 had moved from just a calendar 2025 release date to a more specific fall 2025 release date. So we're not expecting Take-Two to announce GTA 6's official release date in the May earnings call, but this is going to be where, if there is a delay, they're going to have to tell investors. And I really want to say that it's around this period that we should expect a second trailer, but honestly, they might not even do that. It's very possible that Rockstar stays silent past this earnings call and they just reconfirm that it's a fall 2025 release date in the
I kind of agree with this. I've always actually thought this myself, that Trailer 2 might not actually be necessary. Trailers are there to simply excite people about a game, but the excitement is always going to be here for GTA 6. Even if it came out next year, it would still be the biggest game of the decade, hands down. Realistically, all Rockstar actually needs to do for this next earnings call is simply show up and say, yeah, we're still ready for fall of 2025. That's all they need to do. We don't actually need to see a release date trailer or anything like that. But I still expect that we will see a trailer maybe around the time of the earnings call.
I'm gonna keep most of these dates pretty broad, and I'm just gonna kind of stick to like the seasons, I guess. Starting with Trailer 2, this is going to be something no one could have possibly ever predicted. I think that this thing is happening sometime in the spring.
Okay, so April to May seems like a reasonable guess for Trailer 2. Okay.
Just that we could expect Trailer 2, I think, is sometime in April, but I think May sounds more likely. I don't know.
So of course May is when the earnings call would be, and April is like a month from now, so
I'm going off of vibes only here. I also think that we're going to be getting pre-orders with Trailer 2, and almost certainly we'll get the release date. And then looking at summer, it's very possible that we just get absolutely nothing from Rockstar during this period, but I also don't think...
I think summer could potentially be, if we're looking at this one as like, this is what it looks like, I think we could see the trailer in May, for example, and then we may see summer marketing materials, not necessarily being a trailer, but being in real life stuff, cultural stuff, things that YouTubers, TikTokers, etc. will be covering. That, I think, would be a potential option, and honestly, that sort of thing won't cost a whole amount. Realistically, if they do a billboard, that's going to cost maybe 5 figures, and if they do anything else that requires, for example, actors in a city or whatever it might be, then that itself probably won't cost more than $100,000, I'm guessing. Of course, as far as distribution is concerned, like I say, content creators will make videos about that, speculating about stuff, etc., and that itself will do tens of millions of views, which is more than return on investment positive for Rockstar.
I think it's out of the question that we do get a third trailer, or maybe like character-specific trailers for Lucia and Jason like they did with GTA 5, but honestly, I'm not going to be expecting a whole lot during the summer. And then finally, moving to the fall, we're probably going to get the gameplay trailers about a month or two before the game's launch.
Okay, so Agent hasn't really spoken about real live marketing, mainly digital marketing, which both are incredibly important, but realistically, when I'm thinking about real life marketing, I'm thinking about what Fortnite has done in the years that has really cemented itself as a cultural phenomenon. I think Infinite Agent has made some pretty good guesses here, and I think in general, I understand everything except for the Mafia thing, don't quite get that, but overall, I can see them really going hard on marketing some point over around the April-May time, especially with a trailer, and then hopefully we may either see some trailers around summer, or we might see some real life marketing, which of course turns into digital marketing once content creators cover what's happening. Of course, we'll be coming up with all these ideas, speculation, rumors, etc. about what Rockstar is trying to tease with us, and then of course from there, hopefully we'll be seeing an on-time release of around September, October, or November, which I'm going to guess is around October or November, ready of course for a Christmas massive boost in sales.